Good day all, this is TJ, the Park Bopper, coming to you today from Epcot. Today, we're here for the first day of the Flower and Garden Festival for 2026. We're going to check out the new Topiaries, check out some of the foods as well. This sounds like something that you're interested in, let's do it. I think they've turned it up this year. Really do feel the park is cleaner thus far. All the Topiaries are beautiful. 40th anniversary of Pixar. Here for Toy Story, you have Bo Peep, Woody, and Buzz Lightyear. The very front of the park as you walk in, looking gorgeous. This Topiary of Lotso set up here in the very back, so very cool. He's out here doing some meeting and greeting. Cool opportunity as you walk in the park to see your first character. Wow, here we have Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater out here looking all fresh and pampered. This is actually the first time I've seen this topiary. It must be brand new. So really cool. Celebrating 40 years of Pixar. All right, Stitch out here. Also the first time I've seen him at Flower and Garden. See him all decked out. Looks like a relatively young topiary. So really cool. Finally see Stitch here represented in the Flower and Garden Festival. Guys, continuing on with that 40 years of Pixar, we have Mike and Sully out here in topiary form. Again, first time I've seen them at the Flower and Garden. Very beautiful setup here right in front of the creation shop. You can see that some of the other plants they've kind of decorated with eyes to look like monsters as well. It's a really cool approach here. New topiary here with Phineas and Ferb looking all dapper. First time seeing them at the festival. That's so cool. Very cool. We've got the return of the Moana topiaries. You can see Hey and Hua and Maui looking all buff. Actually, it looks like they have made his tattoos a little bit more intricate this year. He's a little bit fuller, a little bit bigger this year, so he looks great. Here we are with the return of the Encanto topiary. You can see Mirabelle, Louisa, all the characters all fresh. You can see this year Mirabelle's hair looks very full. So again, topiary's growing in nicely and yeah, looking really great. So we were outside of the butterfly pavilion. Here is the new festival stand for this year, Nectar. We're going to try that tuna poke bowl. You can see the difference between that and the standard poke bowl is just the tuna. And we're going to give that a shot. Maybe the coconut panna cotta, just to see how that is as well. All right, guys, so we finally got a chance to sit down here and try the poke bowl. So it looks fairly good, as you can see. It's got some furikake, of course the tuna, some shredded pickled onion and carrot, avocado, there's some seaweed salad, and some pineapple. So everything looks great. Again, poke is kind of a signature dish of Hawaii. So I'm excited to give this a shot. Here we go. Well seasoned, very sticky rice, very vinegary. Gives it that complexity with the furikake and the vinegar. And you can see that rice itself is just very glutinous, very sticky. Try a little bit of the avocado and seaweed salad. More on the vegetable side of the seaweed salad, I can taste there's no fish sauce in this, so I think it would be safe. Again, probably the same seaweed salad that they put in the vegetarian bowl. So very approachable, just sesame oil and seaweed. Interesting. There's like kind of the brininess to the, in lieu of that fish sauce that you would normally have in seaweed salad. So it still makes it refreshing and different and complex. So I really like that. Now about the pickled onion and tomato. Just red wine vinegar on those onions. No sugar, so there's not any sweetness to that pickled onion. Fairly good though. Now a bite of the tuna. Just a bite of the edamame. Again, this is a very filling bowl with that sticky rice. A good, very light marinade on that tuna. Fresh, delicious, not fishy at all. Just great poke there. I just divided the tuna and pineapple together. I honestly think, kind of like for the bowl itself, the rice is the standout. Just the depth of that rice vinegar, the furikake. There's just a lot of flavor in that. So everything, although you've got the color, the flavor is in the rice, and the color just complements that. So I'm gonna give it a shot to this coconut panna cotta. I believe that's ube on top there with a little bit of matcha crumble. That is very tart. Definitely want to get a little bit of that icing. It's like a dollop of sugary icing there. Interesting. Like a little dot of meringue with powdered sugar, maybe. Really interesting. Now let's get down into the cream a little bit. That a little bit of that ube or that fruit compote there goes a long way. Very rich altogether, refreshing kind of. The cream in itself is very light. The matcha crumble in itself doesn't add a whole lot to it. So I don't think that you're going to get a big intense flavor of that. Overall, just a lot of flavor in this. I was somewhat hesitant to get this dessert, but I'd say overall it's a pretty good buy. Definitely recommend the poke bowl as a light lunch and the panna cotta as a delicious little dessert. So I would say for $14, $15 there for the both of them. Pretty good value and a delicious meal. And you guys can definitely see that as of today being the first day of the Flower and Garden Festival, the park is packed for sure. It's a beautiful day. You can see the overcast clouds. Just a nice day to visit the park for sure. Guys, so at this point we're going to make our way around World Showcase to the Japan Pavilion. Stop and see if we can see some topiaries along the way. Interestingly enough, they've moved Kermit and Piggy up towards the front of the park near the Canada Pavilion. And yeah, so they're really showing off this time. Again, trying to push the new show on Disney Plus, the Muppets, which is really good. I would definitely check that out. That first episode with Sabrina Carpenter. And yeah, definitely give it a shot. But they're looking extra fresh, extra trimmed this year. Normally they're kind of in the back of the park. So yeah, they've definitely been embellished this year. I've also moved the swans up here to a more prominent place. Again, I did like the staging back along the little pond there where they had them on these stands out in that flower bed and across that body of water. But here you can kind of see them without having to walk down into that area. So pretty cool. All right, and again, we've got our 100 Acre Wood friends here with Tigger and Pooh. You've also got Piglet and Rabbit over here looking all fresh and trimmed up this year. Again, the theme seems to be more prominent placement within the park, so you can see these without actually having to exit the main walkways. So fairly accessible to everyone, which I think is an excellent change. Again, you do sacrifice some of the staging for these things, but I think that, yeah, overall, I do appreciate it. Tinkerbell out here in a new area. You can see in a very manicured garden this time with the box hedges and the houses, the bird houses or fairy houses, if you will, staged so you could see them very clearly. Before, they were farther up into the English pavilion, and they were in a more natural looking garden. This is very manicured and everything's got a prominent place to it. So really cool. Hook and Peter Pan out here dueling in front of the English pavilion. And again, you've got Croc over here. Croc's tail looks a little bit new, if you will, or less contoured. But and overall, the crock topiary is a little less contoured than I'm normally seeing it, but it looks very full. So I think this is a mature topiary that's really nice, really good placement. Hey, Tiana's over here at the same place this year at the American Pavilion, looking great, looking great. You can see that her dress is really filling out this year, and yeah, I love the flower brooch. It seems to be very prominent. Turned around a little bit. The TANGHULU was actually at the Lanyao Pavilion here, or Lanyao stand in the China Pavilion, and not in the Japan Pavilion. So my mistake. I just continued my walk on to over here to China, and we're going to give that a shot. All right, and here's the menu for the kiosk here in China, and we're giving a shot to the TANGHULU skewer of strawberries, grapes coated in candied sugar syrup. Uh, when I had this before several years ago, they also had put sesame seeds on top of that. But this, it's a really good dessert. I highly recommend it. Let's see how this year's rendition is. That TANGHULU was very Instagram popular and sold out earlier that day. Oh well. We'll see if we can find another new dish to try. Check out some more of those topiaries. All right, here we have Anna and Elsa looking pretty fresh this year at the Flower and Garden Festival, all trimmed up and contoured very nicely. And you can see the snowflakes with the fairy lights looking excellent as well. Tough it out, see if we can get some of those sweet miso cola glazed sticky pork ribs topped with soy, pickled peppers, and peanuts. So I made it over here to the citrus blossom inside the Odyssey Pavilion, and just to give a shot to this sticky rib. Unfortunately, I only made it over with one rib today. I did lose one along the way, but nonetheless, we will get an opportunity to try this and see how it is. So as you can see from that picture, it looks absolutely delicious, very sticky. Here we go. Bon appetit. Very sweet, salty, sweet, peppery. Got the peanuts on there. Very delicious. I do wish I had the other rib, but this one's good enough for me. Again, you can find that at the TRELLIS. Something I would definitely want to pick up again. For $7.25, you can't beat it. It does break apart fairly easily. Again, you can see kind of how meaty that is overall. There's a good amount of meat on the bone. They're not skimping on this. It's not spicy. You get a little bit of heat from the peppers, but the glaze is very baked on and very good. Guys, and here we're at BRUNCHCOT, which is our audible selection, being that the TANGHULU was sold out today. We're doing the shrimp and grits, which is the blackened shrimp with cheddar cheese grits, queso ham, bell peppers, onions, and andouille sausage. All right, guys, so I'm directly below Test Track here. You can see that delicious shrimp and grits. And let's go ahead and give this a shot. The shrimp is very meaty. I think it might have set in the heat lamp just a little longer. It's not too tough. It just has a very full and meaty texture to it. Overall, really good. Now, a bite of the grits. They did the grits right this year. They're very well cooked down smooth. This is how I like grits. I like them on the creamy side, super creamy side, very cooked, very enriched grits, very southern style. So definitely they got the grits down this year. I'm happy to have that. And this makes this a very exciting thing to get. The andouille sausage, not overly spicy. Does have a little bit of a kick, but it's not exorbitantly spicy, which is unusual because usually I get andouille sausage and I know it. This really good in terms of the composition of the dish. I would actually say that this shrimp and grits outdoes the shrimp and grits that I've had at Boat Rights. So Other than this being a small size, if you bought 2 of these, it'd be a full meal. The texture is excellent, but this definitely outdoes Boat Wright's shrimp and grits. And perhaps it outdoes El Encompass as well. If you were to throw an egg on here, it'd be perfect. Surprisingly, this is my dish for the day, shrimp and grits. Again, it's something you kind of usually see throughout the festival one way or another, but here they have it at BRUNCHCOT, and excellent rendition. All right, guys, after a long day at the Flower and Garden Festival and many foods that you try, good to pop into Club Cool and get a little bit of my favorite, which is the cucumber Sprite. Good to cleanse the palate. Extremely refreshing. I wish you could buy this at the store, but it's always a nice treat to come over here to Club Cool and get it. All right, guys, a nice little jaunt here today at the first day of the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. We are leaving the park just a few hours over here before work. Hope you enjoyed your day with me. Thank you for tagging along on this little bop. All right, guys, and with that, we are done for the day. I want to thank you for spending this first day of the Flower and Garden Festival with me, checking out some of the new foods and some of the new topiaries. It's been a great day. Again, I am TJ the Park Bopper. If you love what I do, please vibe, jive, like, and subscribe, and I will see you again real soon.